Hello, good day, and welcome to my YouTube channel once again. If you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome back. If this is your first time on this channel, I'm wondering where have you been and what has been keeping you away from the resources we provide on this channel. Nevertheless, you're never too late because there are so many scholarships all around the world, and we're exploring more on a daily basis as they get listed. So, without further ado, I would advise that you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can always be informed, even toggling the button on the new videos that we drop. Without further ado, today we'll be exploring a Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, and we'll be running through the interface and the possible procedures and documents you need to ace your scholarship. So let's get started. Welcome to the Commonwealth Shared Scholarships page, and this is one of the 6 scholarships that runs with Commonwealth. If you paid attention, about 2 months ago, there is a Commonwealth scholarship that was explored on this channel. That one requires your nation to recommend nominating agencies. I will leave the link to that in the description box below, so you just see what it looks like. And this is another scholarship for both masters and students, and we'll be running through the overview and all of the other procedures to the scholarship. So what does the overview says? You can see, you can read up all of this on your own, or there is a purpose for the scholarship. The purpose is to contribute to development needs of Commonwealth countries by providing training for skilled and qualified professionals and academics who would not otherwise have been able to study in the UK. I had to read this part for you so that you would not miss out during the course of your discussion in your statements of purpose and other necessary informations or documents you need to provide. If your statement of purpose and several other informations doesn't align with this purpose, you are perfectly out of the game. You're perfectly out of the game. But if it aligns, then you're in the game, depending on several other parameters that you have left. Now, who are the intended beneficiaries? You can read that on your own. Least developed and middle income countries, including fragile and conflict affected states. So places like Afghanistan, places like Iraq, war-torn zones in the Middle East, Asia are part of it. Refugees are also part of it. All of that are here who have not studied for a year or more in a high-income country before. So if you never traveled outside of there to study from any of these countries, you're a perfect fit. And the duration is usually 12 months, so it's a master's degree scholarship. Nothing more and nothing less. The UK universities bid for scholarship for specific courses with demonstrable development impact and must agree to fund the living cost component of the scholarships. Applications are made via successful universities, which make the initial selection of candidates who are subsequently approved by the Commonwealth Shared Committee. So how do you apply? First things first, before you talk about how you apply, you must take note of the deadline. And I love to highlight my deadline so that you can see. The deadline is Thursday, 14th December 2023. If you intend to begin in September or October 2024, you have about just 3 weeks to put in your application. It may not be a long time enough. The application opened around 14th of November. It may not be a long time enough for you, but if you follow the requirements for the MBA that I shared on this channel, and you've been gathering your documents, you will realize that you are not far-fetched from putting up the remaining document. And so, but if you've not, 3 weeks is still a good time for you to put up with it. And I will do a short statement. I'll make a short statement along the line. So please pay attention to the video to the very end. Now, you apply before 4 p.m. GMT or 4 GMT. depending on your country. My country is +1 GMT, so that should be 5 before 5 GMT or 17 GMT on a Thursday like this. And so you go ahead. How do you apply? You apply through the online application system. I will check what it looks like over there. Now, applicants are advised to complete this and submit. You can read up all of this. Now, then you have a place where you view the approved courses, and then you can view details of all participating universities. So I will take you through an interface of it too, briefly, for your own benefit. And so you can see it, and then you may now applicant can apply for more than one course or to more than one university. However, you may only be accepted it offer into one. Now I'll say this. Last 2 years I had a student who applied for 50 scholarships. 50 to 50 universities. 50 universities, I think about 70 courses. There are some courses where they say I saw 2 courses, and the person put in application. Of course, she's been preparing for quite a while, but she put in application, and I can assure you she got three slots, 3 recommendations, 3 offers, and she chose one. She's currently at the University of um, is it Birmingham, if I'm not mistaken, Birmingham or Leicester. So, irrespective of where you intend to go, you just need to get your documents ready and put in application. The good thing about this is there's no limitation to the number of applications you can make. You just make sure you put in these applications before the deadline. And you're applying through the university. The system is structured that you apply through the university, and you also apply to the scholarship body. You apply to the university, I apply to the scholarship body. And many times the universities you're applying to have their deadline either before the scholarship deadline or after. So whatever the case is, apply to the scholarship body, apply to the university, and you are up in the game. Now, when you choose your university for your specific advice when you apply, please check with the chosen university for their specific advice on when to apply, admission requirements, and rules of applying. I just made that statement, and then by March 2024, chosen candidates will be nominated by the universities for Commonwealth Scholarship to take up. So I'm exploring the supporting documents that you need. Applicant must include supporting documents to be eligible. What are the supporting documents? Number one is proof of citizenship or refugee status in an eligible Commonwealth country. I have said this before in the video on documents required for masters or MBA. That's what the video is all about, but the documents are almost similar or part of. And I advise there that please, for your passport, for your proof of citizenship, you are expected to upload an ID card. However, it is wisdom to upload an international passport, your driver's license, voter's registration card, or several other subsidiary means of identification may be a disqualification because it doesn't show the level of preparedness provided you're shortlisted at the moment. It is not a static rule, however, it is a silent parameter that is used. A number of friends and colleagues also who had gone through the scholarship, I think I have one who's running his PhD, University of Bath, had emphasized that it is preferable you have your international passport. So just in case you don't have your international passport, well, no problem. There's still be several other scholarships you can go for. You can put in the application just to test the waters. There's no crime. You're not moving a muscle. You're not spending a dime. Everything is free. So why not give it a try? But preferably, I suggest advice based on counsels of people who had gotten countless rejections, who later end or landed the scholarship. Now your full transcripts detailing all, including today transcript for any courses currently being studied. The advantage of this is that you can be in your final year and still apply for the scholarships, provided you'll be finishing before the new academic year, which is in September 2024. You can put in your application here. So you go ahead and consider that transcript. You need that. And then with that said, you're done. So any other documents? Now, what is the eligibility? Applicant's eligibility. You can read through now. All of this is clear, but I said something. By September 2024, you must hold a first degree of at least second class upper. So this scholarship celebrates a 2-1 over others. Although sometimes if you're exposed to other parameters, you may shoot your shot even with a 2-2. Yes, a second class lower. Sometimes you can shoot your shot. Or a lower second class degree and irrelevant postgraduate qualifications, usually a master's degree also. Yeah, so you can shoot your shot. Now, you must not have studied in a high income countries, you are unable to afford UK living. You can read through everything here, and I know you might just be wondering, you want to know the eligible countries, they are all here. So just go through it. Ghana is there. You can see Lesotho, you can see Malawi, you can see Jamaica, you see Guyana, you see Malaysia, you see Maldives, you see Mauritius, Mozambique, Nigeria, Nauru, Pakistan, you see Rwanda is there. So South Africa. So almost all countries in Africa, almost all major countries in Africa are there. Uganda is also there. So just just go ahead and Togo, go ahead and put in your application, check out if your country is eligible, and then just go ahead without a waste of time. Botswana, Bangladesh, and you put in your application and see what becomes of you. But if you know that you fall within other countries where um you're a refugee, other conditions apply to you, but yet your country is not listed here. Well, you could leave me in the comment section a question on how to apply for it. I'll think I may shoot a video for that and then give you a guide on how to go about it. So just let me know where you're watching from in the comment section and let's know how we can be of assistance. And even if there is no room for you in the scholarship, we'll look out for scholarship for you. Provided you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you get a scholarship that perfectly suits your personality or uniqueness. Now, completing the form. I've had quite a number of persons wonder how to go about fulfilling this form. In completing the form, there are a few things that people kind of get wary of. One is that you list all undergraduate and postgraduate university qualifications obtained, of course. Now, list up to 10 publications and prizes. The truth is, for master student, it's not always a compulsory requirement. If you have 1 or 2 publications and prizes, you can lead them. What are these publications? They could be your term paper. They could be your undergraduate thesis that you've converted into paper publication online, of course, on reputable journals. That could be it. Prizes are what you've earned in course of studies, are what you've earned. So you graduated best graduate students. There are columns for it. You listed there. Best graduate students, social academic year, best graduate students, social course, best graduate student in best project, maiden edition of project research or undergraduate research. All of those are prizes that you win. Maybe you won a lecturer's award, the faculty of this thing award as best student or student with the highest CGPA. Those are prizes. You list them as many as possible. At up to 10. You can't exceed 10, or you preferably shouldn't exceed 10. Now, you provide details of employment history and explain how the experience gained supports and is relevant to the program to be undertaken in the UK. This is where that statement I made earlier comes up, that provided you are not even a 2-1 student, if you're a 2-2 student, you can still shoot your shot on this business. So you studied, say you studied public health in the university, or yes, or environmental health in the university, and then you got opportunity to work at a say oil industry or oil firm or within the oil sector. Now you've seen quite a number of pollutions and all of that, and then you're applying to study occupational hazards and risk. Don't forget environmental health. Here is oil industry, and you want to study occupational hazards and risk for your masters. It is simply wisdom for you to know that first you're going to write a transitory motivation letter one. Two, you're now going to write a statement of purpose. Your motivation letter is going to connect your undergraduate background to your work experience or work field and how it links up with your intended course of study. Now, the purpose of the study that you're going to the statement of your purpose is going to connect your work experience to the purpose of the objective of the scholarship body. I hope you get it. I take it again. Your motivation letter is going to connect your undergraduate studies with your work, your current job experience, and then link it to your intended course of study, occupational risk and hazard. While your statement of purpose is going to connect all of these in very concise and precise form to the purpose of the scholarship body and how it will impact your community or your country, whichever one. Now, list names and position of three referees. This is where relationship is a currency for you. Your lecturers, at least you should have up to two professors who can refer, who can stand as referee for you. Yeah, so you go ahead with them, and then you put in your application with them, and that's going to help you. Then you, and if it is your organization, but since academic, I usually advise 2:1, two academicians and one professional. Two academicians and one professional. But if you stayed out of the academic study for up to 3 5 years, I tell you, two professionals and one academician, people of repute, high standard. You don't just be a chief security officer of your organization to sign for you. No, you should be getting someone like the GM, the general manager, the CEO, the head of human resource management, the head of human resource, the admin, chief admin. Anybody from grade level 14 and above should fit, depending on your organization. And of course, for academics, it should be from a doctor to professor and professor emeritus and the like. So even your vice chancellor can if you have access to him, let him become your referee. And the referee will have to write a letter. So look for people who will be available, not overtasking to giving you. And now one of the referees must be a current employer if applicable. You see what I'm saying? If you are employed, at least one of the referee must. Emphasis on the word must. Emphasis on the word must. Emphasis on the word must. So don't joke with that. Now you provide development impact statement in 4 parts. The development impact statements are things you give your time to. So if you start your application early, you can go ahead and do this. I will give out, for the benefit of those who missed the other scholarship, the other essay review, I'll be giving out just 2 slots. Please, just 2 slots to review just 2 essays for this. Just 2 essays for this. I'll be doing that absolutely free for them. The first 2, just 2. So if you watch to this point, and you want to put in an application for this, latest by the 10th of December, send in your essay. After 10th, the 2 slots are gone. Send in your essays to me and I will go through them for you. I'll review them for you. Absolutely free. That's a bonus. Now, development issues at the global level. That's how to write it. In the first part, you take note. You start from global to national and to local level. The general to the micro or to the regional, and then to the domestic. Now, development issues connected to the chosen Commonwealth Shared Scholarship development team and the wider sector. The Commonwealth Shared Scholarship thing is is in 6 parts, starting from technology down to gender equality, education, and all of that. You have it on the portal on the web page, and I'm going to put the link to this in the description below, so you have it. Now, when you go ahead, you see that if you go ahead, you see that the themes are there. So whatever you are writing, your first developmental issues should be global, national, and local. While your second developmental issues should focus on how all of these connect with the choosing theme. Now, that's in your first part. In the second part, you should explain how you intend to apply the new skills you've gotten through the scholarship by the time the scholarship end. This is going to is talking about your future. Now, in the third part, you should align what you expect will change in development terms following the scholarship, including the outcomes that you aim to achieve, the time frame for your implementation, and who your beneficiaries are. I was privileged to be in the vehicle sometimes last year with an individual who was putting up this application from the comfort from the vehicle. Let me not say comfort because the roads in my country are not good enough. And so she was putting in this application while with the vehicle, and she was just typing and writing, and she was chit chatting with me. So I was paying attention to her also partly and doing my things. And we exchanged contacts along the line. You won't believe that little guide I was able to provide that short period of time helped her. She got the scholarship once. She got the scholarship once, just right after her mandatory national youth service. She got the scholarship and she's out of the country. So it's not all about being perfect. It's all about being sincere. Yeah, grammatical error must be taken off because it's going to give a strike to your application if grammatical errors and punctuations are imminent. However, you just need to be simple and direct. No bogus grammars and all of that. So, ability to communicate what you aim to achieve at the end of your study, the time frame of your implementation. Okay, so in the first 2 years, this is what you do. In the next 5 years, this is what you do. Who are your beneficiaries? Who are those that are going to benefit from your studies? And the fourth part of the scholarship, of course, you're to write about how the impact of your work could be the best measured and evidenced. Here, I'll tell you this: majority of Commonwealth Shared scholars that I know and have met, that I've interacted with, and we've communed together, either chose to start up a YouTube channel, stop to launch a blog. I choose to, they identify pragmatic steps to let Commonwealth monitor the progress of the things they say. So whatever you're saying here, you must be able to, because the masters is an award. It actually can be withdrawn. Yeah, it can be withdrawn if you are not meeting up to the things you promised or are scheduled to achieve. Now, applicants are also asked to what? Do the following. One, confirm what your award objectives are and how each of them will be met by the scholarship program. Confirm what your career plan are for the 5 years following the scholarship. You can see, confirm your long-term career plans in the next 30, 40 years. Provide a detailed plan of study. Provide personal statement to summarize the ways in which their personal background. So you can read up all of this and then you put it in. And there is somewhere here, summarize the ways in which there's a clause on leadership, voluntary activities, demonstrate leadership. So this is where fellowships, volunteerisms come in, departmental fellowships, student fellowships, religious fellowships, whatever they are. This is where you can bring them in if you serve a leadership, political, student association, student union governments, and all of that. If you've appeared on any of them, this is where you can fit them in. And you just summarize all of this and reaching them into your statements appropriately. Well, I still emphasize again, the 2 slots is going to be open till 10th December, and I'll be giving my best in 48 hours to get it back to them. So make sure you get every other thing you need to get. Send in your essays either earlier than that. If you send it 48 hours from when I receive it, I'll do my best to review it for you and send it back to you. There's no harm in trying. Even if you don't have all the other things figured out, you don't have an international passport, but you have a national ID card, driver's license, put it up. Let's give it a try. Provided you get a message of rejection, is a sign that you actually worth attention. Yes, if you get a rejection message, it's a sign that you are worth attention. So if you don't get any message at all, it means you never did anything well. So if you have that in mind, you will not get discouraged at all. And there's a selection process, and you can read that. But I just want to pay attention to the three core things. This three stands out for me. But if you want to see further details, you can look at the link there. Academic merit, quality of research proposal. You're going to draft a research proposal, of course. Quality of research proposal. Then the potential impact of on the development of your country. I said it earlier. So when you take up your global, national, and local, you must be able to connect how the research and your studies at the end of the day is going to impact your country. Yes, and you can start by when you are now stated expert, you must connect from your local community to national, and then if possible you can connect it to global. If you're connected to global, that part of global is going to be a picture of your long-term career goal. So don't go for what you don't have interest in simply because you just want to japa the japa syndrome. No, you have to be intentional. Now the tenor of placement is simple. It's for full-time students only. So if you're intending to do a part-time studies or online virtual studies, then you're not qualified at all. Forget about this scholarship and just face and look out to other scholarship. I think I shot a video on one of the available scholarships that is online, offering online. University of Edinburgh is on this channel. You can look for it, and then you can apply to the online route. And if you secure the scholarship, of course, the master's scholarship. If you secure it, it's still as good as Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. Now, what do you expect for the financial assistance? So you have approved airfare. Yeah, you're not moving a muscle. You get this scholarship, you're not moving a muscle. Both to and fro, you get that. You get approved tuition fees covered. It doesn't matter the amount of your school fee for that your 12 months, it is absolutely covered. You have stipend of living allowance on monthly basis, depending on where you are, either 1,300 or 1,600. If you're living in the heart of London, it's going to be around 1,600 per month. But if you're living in any other countries, any other states outside our countries, outside of London, universities outside of London, of course, 1,003 plus. Now you have one clothing allowance. If you're a scholar that have children and you're widowed, divorced, or a single parent, there's a child allowance for you of up to this amount per month for the first child, second child, second and third child, provided they are below the ages of 16. So those ones, just in case you'll be going with them, they are within the age range of 16. You have to cater for their transport, of course, but there is an allowance for them to live with you, and that must be that they are living with you in the same location in the UK. Now, if you have a disability, a full assessment of your needs and eligibility for additional financial support will be offered by CSC. So, in the questions that you're going to be answering, there are provisions to ask whether you have a disability. If yes, please feel free. This scholarship is generous enough. It's worth over $50,000. Over 50,000 euros. It's worth over 50,000 euros. Now, the family allowances is intended to only contribute towards the cost of maintaining scholars' family in UK. So they are not paying for your family's travel and other needs. And general conditions are there. You can read them up on your own. Now, there's a health and disability form also on the portal for those that are physically challenged. So if you're one of them, go ahead and pick up this form, fill it, and also submit alongside your essays. Now, if you of course you know that you will need visa if you are an international student. You are expected to, upon submission and upon your confirmation of your admission letter, you go ahead to this site, get updated information, and start putting up application for your essays, for your visa rather. You must also certify this requirement. So check out from the participating universities, which I will quickly go to that portal, check out from them and confirm what are the requirements. If they have AC, if they are waiving English language for your country, then you don't have any reason to worry about international English language tests of any kind. If they are not waiving it, but they are accepting a proficiency letter, then it's an advantage for you. If they are not accepting a proficiency letter, but they are accepting WAEC or your country's secondary school English language certifications, then go ahead and select it, and then you're good to go. You're good to go. That being said, so what other things? If you have any other inquiries, you can check the F&Q page. Now let's check some of the eligible courses. So we have these courses, and you can see under the 6 thematic areas, they have access, inclusion, opportunity. If you click on it, it is going to open for you, but I don't want to click on this. You have promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. You have science and technology for development, strengthening global peace, security, and governance. You have strengthening health systems and capacity, and strengthening resilience and response to crisis. Access, inclusion, and opportunity. These are schools that are offering some of them, and the courses they are offering. You can see them. If you meet the requirement for all the courses within access, inclusion, and opportunity, and you have the ability, you can write concerning all of them. You can write to all of them, applying to all of them. It depends on you. For people with disability, there's a course here, Liverpool Hope University. There's a Master of Arts in Disability Studies. You can put in for it, especially if you're an advocate, not just people with disability. You can be basically healthy and just an advocate of this. And you can put in for this gender development. So just check through all the courses. You can see the courses to the end. You check out promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. The list of courses are there. Go ahead and check through. I applied to them. I got a placement for admission 3 years ago, but because I was not offered scholarship, so I left there. I applied the second year. I got a placement of admission, but the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship did not offer me admission scholarship. They didn't offer me, but the school saw my application and were interested in my work, and they offered me a 50% scholarship. But I'm not ready to foot the remaining 50% bill, so I left it. But just consider it and go through it. And when you are done, check the participating universities, of course. You can see them there. Many of them have the number of applicants they're going to take, so you can check it out. The first university has 2 slots. The second university is taking 4. Bournemouth University 4. All the others, Cranfield is taking 8. Durham 8. Goldsmith 1. So this is why it is competitive for you to have your scholarship at top notch, because there are numbers. There's almost nobody who is accepting, no school accepting more than 8 scholars at a time. Majority of the schools are only accepting 8, 3, 5, 4, 6, and see, Universal have less than 6. So just go through it, check it, and then when you put in your application, you can now go to the app portal again and check. You check their requirements. If you meet it, then you put in your application. That being said, let's see what the form looks like, at least the first page of the form, as we bring this video to a close. Believing that this video is adding value to you, I hope you've liked, subscribed, and shared it so that you can help others who may need it, just in case you are not giving in to this scholarship. So you go ahead and consider the form now. So when you come to the application page, the first thing you have to do is to state your nationality of residency. and I'll be picking my country just so that we can see together what next comes up. Now you can see this. It's a returning user. Of course, I'm a returning user. I can log in with my Google, but I'm not doing that. But if you're just coming in for the first time, you look at the new user place and you sign in. With that being said, I bring the video to a close to let you know that I left a statement and a bonus somewhere in the video. If you watch to the end, you'll find it out. Put in your application, shoot your shot. I believe you can do it, provided you know that quitting is not in the option. Quitting is not in the option. Until then, I hope to hear a testimony. Let me know where you're watching from also, so we could be of help and guide. Ta-da!